The Canadian Card Collector here, and welcome back to day 309 of your daily deck review. And the deck that we're taking a look at today is the Bicycle Canada 150 playing cards. So, with no further ado, let's take a look and see what we get. So here we have the Bicycle Canada 150 playing cards in that standard glossy finish tuck box. It's a mostly red tuck box here, but it is a white and red colorway. Here we got the bicycle logo in that white text. And we got the Canada 150 logo here with that geometric shaped maple leaf. And then the Canada 150. Got 1867 to 2017. And then 150 years of Canada. And we got playing cards down here in English and French. So this makes this the English-French tuck box or the Canada tuck box variation. On one side you got air cushion finish made in the USA. Other side says air cushion finish and also in French. On the bottom, you just got the barcode and the recycling logo. On the back is where you got all your information here. So you get that same bicycle logo once again in that white font. And you got a sneak peek of 3 of the cards there. And then it says celebrating Canada's 150th anniversary with 52 cards featuring iconic photos of Canada. And then also there in French as well. Then you got the corporate information also in English and in French. And these are from 2017 as you see right there. And then you just got the standard black United States Player Gravity black seal with that outlined white spin and the white border around. On the top, it's just that red colorway. On the tuck flap, you just got some corporate information. On the inner tuck flap, you just got that design that kind of wraps around that tuck box. If we take the cards out of the box, on the inside of the tuck box is just plain white. Nothing too crazy or fancy going on inside there. And now that we took a look at the tuck box, time to take a look at the cards. And first we'll start with that back design. Here we have a borderless one-way back design. So it's a fully inked red ink back design there. And with the back designs, with fully inked back designs, the edges could chip a little bit with extensive use. But if you just shuffle them here and there, then they won't wear as much. But the more you use them, edges could chip and start turning white. So that's one thing to notice. I just like to say that with every fully inked deck. And now back to that back design. You have that same kind of Canada 150 logo there with like a white outlined geometric kind of maple leaf there, and then the Canada 150. So a pretty simplistic back design with no borders once again. If you would flip it over, that design would be upside down. And was fully inked like back design. Sometimes the cards could be thicker, not always. Some surprised me and been thinner stock. But now for the cards you get with the deck. And here we start with, I guess, the first 2 cards here. And they're just little kind of historical moments of Canada. So I will pause here. I'll just hold them out. If you want to pause and read those, you totally can. And if I were to flip them over, just put the card down. If I flip them over, it's the exact same quotes or little history notes, but just in French. Okay, now that we got past that, we get to the first Joker here. It's the black colorway Joker, which is Joker. And then you got that geometric maple leaf again in the Canada 150, and inside there, the maple leaf, you can kind of see different places from around Canada. And then for the second Joker, it's the red colorway Joker, so same like design, it is the red colorway, so Joker Canada 150. Then you got the same maple leaves there, but they have different places from around Canada in this one compared to this one. So if you look at them, they're all different places. And then we get 2 of the cards here. And if I just slightly fan them, you can kind of see every deck, every card is a different place from Canada. So there's 52 different places from Canada. So I won't name them all off. I'll just lightly go flip through them all so you can kind of see all the places. I'll try to keep the names open so you can kind of see those as I go through. If they will focus in though, because kind of the lighting kind of makes it a little bit hard to see. But they still got a pretty similar kind of like pip there in the corner. They just have like a white outline around it. So it kind of stands out. It doesn't like blend too much into the cards. We can see all the different artwork. Well, it's not really artwork, like photographs and stuff, like really detailed from around Canada. So you got all the different seasons as well. Like you kind of seeing some of the places that are nice and sunny, some it's nighttime, some it has like snow. Yeah, there's just lots of places. Now on to the hearts. These cards are a little slippery in my hand right now. But now we have a quick look at the cards. Time to test the handling. And first we'll start with the springs. This is still a brand new deck, so they'll be a little bit stiff. And I was right, they're definitely stiff. The first couple, like, flexes for the springs are going to be a little stiff. Like, the first one's definitely going to be the stiffest. But they still spring pretty smoothly. And they're definitely not as stiff as, like, the first couple. But the more you do, the more they'll break in. And get a little bit, like, softer of a spring. And flex to it. But they're definitely still pretty stiff, though. Look at that nice clickiness to the springs, which is nice. So you get that nice crispy spring feel to it. And now on to the fans. Nice colorful fan there. Mostly like a blue kind of colorway because there's lots of sky views within the different photographs and pictures. And as you can see, they spread pretty evenly. You can see some of the numbers that's over the pips. Like you can see most of them, just not like fully, like just like half of them. But they spread pretty evenly. No real stickiness or clumpiness to the cards. And now for the Pharaoh. Definitely not the smoothest Pharaoh. I did have to slide and shuffle them together to get them to interlock and weave. But now for that giant fan of the back design. And now for that reverse Pharaoh. The reverse was a lot more smoother there. And the interlocked way better. Now for that giant fan of the faces. And now time for the riffle shuffle or bridge shuffle. And this is the point of the video where that one-way back design will get all mixed up. You can definitely tell the cards are thick when doing the riffles, because it's a little bit more clumpy of a riffle, like when you riffle them down like that. But when you bridge them up, they're pretty smooth. It's just like the initial riffle part, so you're gonna have to like break them in. But the riffle's not too bad. So they were overall pretty decent riffles, like they just still work. But you just gotta let them break in, because there is lots of ink, because they're fully inked, which I forgot to mention that. I mentioned the backs were fully inked, but also the faces are fully inked there. So having both sides fully inked definitely makes the cards a little bit more thicker. But they will get smoother over time, but they definitely feel clumpy when riffling them. So they're definitely not the smoothest cards. But you're not going to really use these for like shuffling and playing cards with, because it's kind of hard to tell what card you even have. Mostly it's like a kind of like a souvenir deck to have. It's a little collector item. There's all the different like pictures on there. It's just something to like look at and have as a little conversation piece on your table or something. Well, they can riffle and bridge shuffle, but they're just lightly clumpy. Not like terrible or anything, but you can definitely notice it. And now time for a few packet cuts. Well, the packet cuts actually surprised me. They were pretty smooth. They felt great in the hands. A little slippery from time to time, but not like super noticeable or anything. So yeah, like pretty good packet cut ability. Like pretty average though, like nothing like overly crazy, but they did surprise me. Like they feel fantastic. And one of the more better kind of packeting decks that I've used. Well, like all decks can packet cut like pretty much the same. Just some feel a little bit more better packet cut for some reason. But now on to that one-handed cut or Shirley cut. Now time for the dribble. So I didn't put the jokers back in when I went to start shuffling them. Let's just do that right now. Well, overall, pretty smooth dribbles. No real issues there. They feel a little bit more slippery when they're like face up, like the faces are up, compared to when the back design is up. A little bit more grippy back design up, but pretty average, like same on both directions. And now time for that spread fan. And lastly, spread the cards on the table. Well, I guess it is like a pretty decent custom bicycle deck. Mostly found in Canada, obviously, so that's pretty much the only place you're really gonna find it. You can obviously get them online and then have them shipped to you, and they'll be in other countries and places. But it's more of like a souvenir kind of deck, so nothing like overly crazy going on. We got that like kind of like simplistic back design, which is just the Canada 150 logo there, which you saw. Then all the faces are fully custom there with different like photos from all over Canada. So you got 52 different photos, which makes for a nice colorful deck. A little bit hard to use for card games, like I mentioned earlier. So you wouldn't really use those for card games or Magic. It's mostly just like a little souvenir deck just to have out and like something like a little conversation piece to have out. So you can just like look at all the different places from around Canada. Something neat to have just lying around. But for the handling, There are cards at the end of the day. The handling, the handle, pretty fantastic. They're a little bit on the stiffer side, so you're definitely gonna have to like break them in. Like even those springs are a little bit harder. They're still spring, even though I've shuffled them up a decent bit. They're still a little bit stiff. But other than that, they're pretty smooth. Like they got nice smoothness to them. There's definitely no stickiness to them. So they're good in that aspect. And they're a little bit slippery, but not too bad. And you got that simplistic design once again. So overall, pretty decent design. Definitely not one of my favorite decks that I'm just gonna pull out and use all the time. Because like I said, it's mostly that souvenir deck. So simplistic, but yet still pretty good design. Mostly if you're in Canada, but even if you're not in Canada, you can still have this and look at them and just have it in your collection. But overall, the design, like I keep mentioning, it's okay. It's just simplistic. And then for that handling, the handle fantastic, so no issues there whatsoever. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed. This has been day 309 of our daily deck review. This has been a Bicycle Canada 150 playing cards, and I'm the Canadian Card Collector signing out. That's the video. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.